most of all, it'll give you the dedication, the loyalty, just like you show to the racing circuit itself. Tonight's show is brought to you from the good folks of the M1 Roofing Group out of Indian Trail, North Carolina. Folks, a family-owned and operated business, over 20 years plus experience in the roofing business. M1 Roofing Group, Matt and Dale Manis, the father and son, put together a family business here. They're not going to treat you like a customer. They're going to treat you like a client. They're going to treat you like family. Why? Because they're more dedicated than most all companies out there right now. Guaranteed work with quality, honesty, dependability. Folks, if you want that honest, dependable service, there's no one out there better than the good folks here at the M1 Roofing Group, because they're going to treat you like family. Don't you want that protection for your family? Hey, not only are they going to make you a client, and they're not going to just walk in there and do the job and leave, they're going to stay with you for another 10 years. That's right, because they've got an extended warranty program for 10 additional years for new roof replacement, roof tear-off, roof repair, commercial, residential roofing. Folks, this is an A team with elite workers. I'm talking about certified technicians, trained specialists in the art of shingle replacement. Folks, M1 Roofing Group, read the testimonies, look them up online, www.m1roofing.com, or give them a call today, 704-234-2961. Again, 704-234-2961. Also, the show is brought to you tonight from the U.S. Bonding Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, folks, we see it, we hear about it all the time. Good people want good things to happen. Well, how about good people having a bad thing happen? You know the old saying, wrong place, wrong time? Well, it can happen. You could be that victim. You, a friend, a family member. Folks, do not be without U.S. Bonding. Let me tell you about U.S. Bonding here. Since 1979, these folks have got together and formed not just an A team. They have formed an elite team of some of the most qualified agents in the state of North Carolina. Folks, U.S. Bonding Company has not just a team. They have the elite team. And I guarantee, with U.S. Bonding on your side, your family, you can have your feet back on the street in your time of need. Face it, folks, money is always tough. They also accept collateral, but you may not have the collateral. You may not have the money to make the bail, to make the bond. Don't worry about it, because U.S. Bonding, they have a solution to your financial situation. That's right. They've got a situation to solve your problem. And what that is called a financial solution. Just give them a call today, 1-800-BAILOUT. That's 1-800-BAILOUT. Or look them up online at www.usbonding.net. Or call them locally in Charlotte at 704-372-2222. All right, let's get back here to this fan dedication and everything. And Wesley, you know, the Monster Mile, it's a big move here. The K&N Series didn't make it today. They got rained out. But moving on, from the Monster Mile, we get the race in. We move on to the Charlotte International Speedway here now. What is in the future right now for these four drivers if something should happen with the Monster Mile?
Well, I just want to back you up there on that. They did get the K&N Series race in today.
Oh.
It was rain delayed, and it was shortened because of the weather and because of the tight NASCAR schedule for Dover. But they did get the show in today. Again, Colin Cabret was the winner of the race, and, of course, William Byron was able to lock up the championship at the finale for the K&N Series in the Drive Sober 125. David Reagan again wins the Hisense 200. Denny Hamlin was second, Kyle Busch third, Ryan Blaney fourth. Kyle Larson had a good run. He finished in the top five in his Chevrolet. Austin Dillon came back from woes with a tire and a caution late in the race, came back to finish sixth. Chase Elliott seventh, eighth was Chris Fisher, the points leader. Ninth was Elliott Sadler, and 10th was Daniel Suarez. Bubba Wallace Jr. was 11th. J.J. Yelly was 12th. Ben Rhodes was 13th. Ryan Reed 14th. Glendon Castle 15th. Brendan Gaughan, Ryan Sieg, David Starr, Mario Gosselin, Dakota Armstrong was the top 20. And to run down the second half of the field was Jeremy Clements, 21st, Eric McClure, Blake Koch, Joey Gassi, Mike Harmon, 25th. Then it was Ryan Ellis, Harrison Rhodes. Ty Dillon had a bad day. He finished 28th. Kel Conley was 29th, and Stanton Barrett, he had a bad wreck earlier in the race. He finished 30th. Brian Scott was 31st. Derek Cook, 32nd. Morgan Shepherd was 33rd. Josh Rayoon was 34th, and Timmy Hill 35th. And to give you the full field rundown, T.J. Bell was 36th, Ross Chastain 37th, Dexter Bean, Carl Long, and Jeff Green finished 40th. That was the full field rundown. Only 10 cars were on the lead lap at the end of the event of the Hisense 200. But again, talking about NASCAR, talking about Charlotte, the Bank of America 500 coming up, homecoming in Race City, USA, just outside of Mooresville. That's where all the big race shops are located. All the headquarters of motorsports and NASCAR, right there in the Queen City. Again, they're going to do everything they can to get the race in tomorrow. And then, of course, they look into Charlotte. Well, then we go into the next round. We go into the contender round because, again, the drivers I mentioned, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Jamie McMurray, Dale Earnhardt Jr., they got to have a good run tomorrow for the AAA 400 because if they don't, yeah, they still race, but they're just racing to race. They're not running for the championship anymore. And I think Charlotte's going to be a very, very interesting kickoff, and it's going to knock it down to see who the next 12 are going to be to make it into the to the next round of the contender round. So, again, Charlotte's going to always be exciting. It's always fun. I love Charlotte Motor Speedway, the atmosphere, that great 1.5 mile mecca of motorsports. And, we got to get through the Monster Mile first. Got to get off the concrete before we go to that big racetrack. But Charlotte's going to always be an exciting show, and I think we're going to have no doubt of that excitement level peaking next weekend. Hey, I want to throw something out here as well. Of course, the NASCAR Late Model's biggest race of the year, and in the entire country, the most prestigious late model event, the 25,000 win Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville Speedway, was canceled or postponed this weekend because of the weather. That has been rescheduled to next Saturday and Sunday, October 10th and 11th. Go to martinsvillespeedway.com and order your tickets, 1-800-RACE-TICKS, to order your tickets for that great event. And in addition to that, don't forget Halloween weekend, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, and the Goodies Body Pain 500 weekend also coming up for the next level in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. But also being passed down to me also to pass along, G-Man, the NASCAR event at Martinsville late model race has been postponed. Also, the All-American 400 at the Nashville Motorplex Speedway in Nashville, Tennessee, has also been postponed because of the weather. They're going to make that race up on October the 15th, 16th, and 17th. So, again, the All-American 400, so much history behind that great event. At one time, it was a big NASCAR show as well by the All-Pro Series banner. That race has been rescheduled for October 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Well, that's, the rescheduling here, with a storm like this here, Wesley, and the way the weather has been this weekend here, as far as it disrupting the race schedules for a lot of the different events going on here, the impact that it may have with NASCAR, the impact it may have with the dirt racing series, there's a lot of big events coming up here, and then as we say here, the Valley Credit 300 that was bumped to next week here. I believe up at Orange County Speedway, there's a big show coming up for a modified show next week as well. These races now, we're at that time of the year right now where the countdown here to the final, the final race here, everything is critical. There is no room for error. There's no room for weather. I mean, weather is what it is. I mean, if it rains, it rains. You can't do anything about it. But all these race teams right now, when you take and you have a rain delay, as we had, Friday, it really takes and makes you stop and think, hey, we got 4 drivers that are on the line here. We've got to make something happen here. You imagine the emotion and what goes through a driver's mind knowing that they could be bumped that quick. Without even taking to the racetrack, they could be bumped. It's got to weigh heavy on a lot of these drivers here. Junior Motorsports here, and Kevin Harvick. Speaking of Kevin Harvick here, we had some people comment here during the week about the fuel situation with Kevin Harvick, and I have a question here that came in, Wesley, and maybe you can throw some input on this here. With the decision on the fuel situation with Kevin Harvick, is it something that's not normal for Kevin Harvick? I mean, it's not normal for that race team, for the fuel situation. Was this just a crapshoot? Was this a missed call? What's your input on something like that?
Well, you and I both know, whether you're a dirt racer, grassroots, Friday, Saturday night tracker, in the NASCAR big time, every driver wants to win. Bottom line, they want to win. But do you push it to that level of the extent of taking it too far? Well, in my opinion, humbly, I believe Kevin Harvick did that last Sunday at New Hampshire in the Sylvania 300. We always talk about these races coming down to fuel mileage, and we've seen them at super speedways, Daytona, Talladega. We've seen it at road courses, and we've seen it at short tracks. And I just don't understand how the powers that be, that are the fuel strategists for or the scientists, so to speak, for Stewart-Haas or for Kevin Harvick per se, could not figure out that they were not going to make it. Unless Kevin Harvick point blank said, guys, I'm staying out here. I'm not coming in. We don't really know what the whole commentary is, because Kevin Harvick was so upset and mad, he really didn't make any media obligations to talk about it, except he put out a tweet that said, had a good race, but fell short. Very bad day. That was the only thing he put out on Twitter. And nobody's really tried to talk to him about it since then. My thing is this, and I said this to you on the phone a couple of days ago. Harvick knew that they didn't have enough fuel. They were talking about it during the race broadcast, even before the conclusion that, guys, they're not going to make it. They don't have enough. But he stayed out there. He gambled. And he lost. Bottom line. And in doing so, he's put himself and his race team in a situation where, okay, he could have not got greedy, because it comes down to greedy. At bottom line, G-Man, that's what it was. He could have came down the pit road with about 10, 15 laps to go, took on a splash and go of fuel, and came back out, had a top 5, top 10 finish, and had a better shot in the points to go to the next round, in the contender round after Dover, to go to the next level, because everybody knows Kevin Harvick's a hell of a wheelman. He's had many wins this year. He's been very competitive. He's a former Sprint Cup champion. He won it in 2013. So, the guy knows what he's doing. However, basically what they did is they put themselves in a slump where now they have to win. They've got to win Dover. If not, they're done. And Kyle Busch is in the same boat.
Kyle Busch came back strong. There's no taking away and there's no denying after the devastating crash that he had with the injury that he suffered to his leg. He came back, but he came back to set a mark. He didn't come back just to race. He came back to regain the respect that that a lot of folks do have for him. He not only proved the point, but he also set a mark in NASCAR, I think, Wesley. I really do. I think that not only he came back with the intention of, hey, I still have a chance. He never gave up. There's a lot of race fans out there that, don't particularly follow Kyle Busch or, the Busch Racing, deal. But you got to give him the credit where it's due, Wesley. You got to take and hand the man the credit. He's come back with smoke and guns. He's come back with a different attitude after that injury. He's come back with not an attitude of, being a smart guy. He's come back with a team attitude. He's come back with a winning attitude. You can't count him out. You really can't. Miracles can happen. Things can happen. Personally, on a one-to-one personal note, I think the deal with Kevin Harvick here, my opinion, folks, just my opinion, WMRG, the G-Man here, just my opinion, I think it was a stupid call. I think if you're going to crapshoot and you're going to roll the dice, don't do it in a situation that you have the inclination. You already know that your fuel is on the edge. You're about done.
Yeah.
Don't take the crapshoot and make yourself look bad. I think, and again, my opinion, my thoughts here, I think it was wrong to jeopardize the team standings. I think it was wrong to jeopardize where he is in that mark right now with the final 4 here in this countdown. I think it was a devastating blow to the team, and I kind of think it was almost an insult to the crew chief. And we all know Kevin Harvick has been known to make his own calls. There's no doubt about it. We all know it. Anybody that follows Kevin Harvick or follows NASCAR, a lot of these drivers out there will get very demanding. Kyle Busch is another one. Kyle Busch will make his own calls. Dale Earnhardt Jr. makes his own calls. There's There's drivers out there that rely on the crew chief's call.